Do you feel like you've been put in the best position for you as a receiver to showcase the best of what you can
do? No.
Okay, so the Chase Claypool saga in Chicago continues. I made a video about Chase a few weeks after his Week 1 performance where the receiver failed to catch a pass and only registered 2 targets in the home opening loss to the Green Bay Packers. Claypool was slammed by fans after the game for his lack of effort and concentration in his routes, blocking and catching, and just his overall demeanor and body language on the field. This is a guy who stands 6'4", 240 pounds, and runs a 4.4. However, he clearly looked like he did not want to be on that field. Coming into the season, he and DJ Moore were considered to be the main focal point in the Bears' offensive attack, so it was just disappointing to see his Week 1 performance be scratched. And sure enough, Justin Fields and the Bears' offense had their best performance of the season. Many speculated that it had something to do with that quote I played you in the beginning of this video when the receiver was asked if the team was putting him in the best position to succeed, to which Chase paused for a few seconds, then shook his head and said no. But nonetheless, it was very suspicious that Chase wasn't at Soldier Field on Sunday with the rest of his inactive and injured teammates.
For that. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Is the plan to keep Chase Claypool away from the team until you trade or waive him?
Yeah, right now we're just having him stay, not be in the building this week. And then again, Ryan does all the trades and transactions, and we'll decide that as we go forward.
Why keep him away? Why keep him away from the team right now? What is the rationale behind that?
Yeah, we just feel that's the best for the team.
Why?
Yeah, it's just like we said, if we're in the building, we feel that's best for the team. And really it comes down to this, when you're evaluating players, right, in meetings, in practice, right, and, in walkthroughs, all those things, it's important that you evaluate the entire body of work, right? And we just feel that right now Chase is going to be out of the building is best for our football team.
There's almost no scenario where a team would do this unless that player was done with that team. Is that the case with Chase, that he's not going to play for the Bears again?
Well, he's not going to be in the building this week, so he's not playing this week. So that we'll see where it goes from there. And again, like I said, Ryan handles all those trades and transactions, and we'll see where it goes.
Would you think there's some possibility that then you would have him out of the building? You would tell him not to come to a game. You'd have him out of the building, not to go to another game, and he would somehow be on the team again at some point and play?
All I'm saying right now is that he's not in the building this week.
What transpired this weekend when you informed him he was going to be inactive?
Meaning what?
What transpired? Something obviously flared up to the point where he was separated from the team for the remainder of the weekend.
Yeah, I would just say that we wanted to. We thought it was best for the team. In terms of what transpired is that we informed him he was inactive and he was not going to be with the team at the game at that point. And then we informed him this morning that he was not going to be here this week.
What was his response when you told him he was going to be inactive, and was that here at House Hall?
It was over the phone in both instances, and his reaction was, we'll keep it there. It's between me and him.
It's obviously a part of this. Obviously, it seems to be triggering your decision to separate him from the team. Why not provide more clarity on what his reaction was to explain why there's this sudden divorce and separation?
Because it's a conversation between us, me, him, and Ryan.
So you should be able to give the factors for why you made the decision, though. Why did it get to this point with Chase?
Yeah, I would just say that, what we think is best for the team and how we operate here as a football team, with the Chicago Bears, when I came here day one, right, I talked about, being on time, being respectful and working hard. And that to me is important for every individual, if it's a staff member, a player, or a coach. And that's where we are. And we feel right now this is the best decision for us.
That answer indicates those are the issues with
Matt?
Chase. Those are the issues then? The ones you just listed?
I'm just saying that's if we have a standard for that. We have standards for that, and if those standards are met, then everything's good. If it's not, then it's not.
What did you think about him saying at his locker on Friday that he doesn't think that he's being used optimally, that he's not being used correctly?
Well, I would just say that, when we're in the situation we are, we got to find ways to find ways to get things done.
So the writing appears to be on the wall. Chase Claypool's time in the Windy City seems to have come to a close after just 10 games. In the Week 3 game against the Kansas City Chiefs, Chase scored his first touchdown in a Bears jersey, but that came off of only one reception all game. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is here, but given his track record since entering the league as a rookie in 2020, I can pretty much guess. After getting selected in the second round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, Chase Claypool had a very solid rookie season, recording 62 receptions for 873 yards and an incredible 9 touchdowns. The Steelers appeared to have struck gold again in the NFL draft in the receiving position. They had a decent receiving core that season that included the likes of Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson, and James Washington. Early in his rookie campaign, the young receiver tasted stardom after he recorded 4 touchdowns in a game against the Eagles in Week 4. This brought the young Claypool to the national spotlight, making appearances on the Pat McAfee Show and having many articles written about his journey to the league as a Canadian from British Columbia. However, since his rookie year, Chase has had a difficult time adapting in the league and was involved in a lot of controversies. The young receiver in 2021 thought it would be a good idea and took a page out of Juju's book and decided to post TikTok dance videos of him and his teammates. When the receiver got criticized for his videos, he snapped back at the media, claiming that his videos was not the reason his team was losing. Then there was also the quote he gave reporters that he thought the team should play with music during practice because it would make things more fun. Yeah, and sure enough, the media had a field day with this quote. But probably the most egregious act by the young receiver was during a game against the Minnesota Vikings in the dying seconds where the Steelers were trying to make a comeback. Roethlisberger connected with Chase for a short pass to which the receiver began celebrating the first down. Meanwhile, the ref was trying to pry the ball out of the receiver's hands to mark the football for the next play. Valuable time was wasted as the transfer of the football wasn't really smooth, and after the game, Chase Claypool got eviscerated by reporters. And lastly, who could ever forget when Chase Claypool appeared as a guest on the I Am Athlete podcast and stated that he was a top 3 wide receiver in the league? Man, that did not age well at all. Anyways, I think Chase Claypool has a serious issue with maturity, kind of like Juju Smith-Schuster earlier in his career. However, Juju seems to have smartened up and stayed out of the spotlight in more recent years. Chase, on the other hand, just does not seem like the type who listens well to authority figures and is probably more rebellious, just judging by his recent quote. To think that the Bears gave up a second round pick, which eventually turned to a first round pick, is just insane. Now it appears Chicago's asking only for a 5th or 6th round pick for Chase Claypool. This is not a good look for him. He is seriously jeopardizing his NFL career because he hasn't really shown any maturity since entering the league. Eberflus kind of hinted at the fact that Chase was showing up late for practice, was not respectful, and did not work hard enough. There were already rumors in the offseason that the front office and coaching staff felt that the receiver was unmotivated. This is a guy who probably worked very hard to get in the league and seems to be throwing it all away.